Are we live?
We're live.
It says
We are. I'm alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic.
I'm alive and kicking.
Alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. I'm alive, alert, awake. I'm awake, alert, alive. I'm alive, awake, alert, awake, enthusiastic. About AA.
So how's everybody in the chat doing? I see the Hudsons. We saw the Hudsons. When was it?
Was that the Paynesville auction?
Yeah. Yeah, we saw them in Paynesville, and then we went to another auction. Was it yesterday? Yeah, there was one in Worcester today, but I didn't go to that one because there was one where the first one's in Medina at 10 o'clock in the morning. And
Thursday, is that Spruce Tree in Worcester?
I think so. Yeah.
Yes, I bet you that was Tom with Spruce Tree.
Yeah, I probably should have gone, but the first one was at 10, and the next one was at like 3:30.
Yeah, 3:30 is Spruce Tree. That's my favorite location. I've hit big there so many times.
Yeah, I know. I should have gone, but I was so busy around here. I bet you Rob went.
I bet you he did because Rob knows that's my favorite location to ever know. I don't know what it is. It's like Paynesville. Like every time I'm at Paynesville, I score there.
Well, how much did you hear about that auction last Saturday?
Not enough. I'm waiting to hear it from your vantage point. And my first question to you is, why didn't you buy that unit?
I did bid on it, but
how much? Now back up. Tell the whole story because everybody's not up to speed on this story.
All right. Well, here's the whole story. We went to the Paynesville. It was the Paynesville auction run. It was the same run where you got the $1,700 and $1,800 units. Okay.
And
the
moose head.
And the moose head. Well, the moose head was in one of those units, right?
Yeah, that was a whole other. Well, not the 1800.
That was a
whole nother auction, right. Whole nother unit that I bought the moose head from.
I remember that was before that. Okay. So it started out you know how it's like 3 locations, sometimes 4. Well, the first location was everybody paid up. We were at the Chestnut Street location, the one by the train tracks. And I was recording, of course. I had my 360 camera on the phone and everything. And I was going to try to make a video out of it.
How many YouTubers were there recording Paynesville?
Well, there was the Hudsons, there was KT Treasures, there was Rob. Guapo wasn't there. And there may have, Alpha was there. Avery's All In is what his channel is going to be. So there were a lot of people there and a lot of phones out.
Wow.
And you know how when the door goes up, you can tell how good the unit is by how fast people walk past it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If people go by real fast, it's garbage. It's a mattress and a couch or something. If you can't get near it, thank you, Rosie. If you can't get near it, it's pretty good. And this was one of those. So, there's Alpha right there. Yeah, he was there.
Yeah, there's Alpha. There's Alpha.
So, as soon as the door goes up, it's hard to describe this unit because, what do you want to look at? There's records. There's things wrapped in blankets that you think are guns, long guns. I can't even think of everything that was good in that unit that you could see. And yeah. And I kind of looked at Rob, and Rob looked at me, and of course he started auctioning it off. And I started bidding right away, and I think I went up to pretty sure I went up to like $2,200.
Did Alpha bid?
No, because it was funny because I talked to Alpha after it was all over, and Lisa, I guess, had just bought the $1,300 unit at the public storage auction run in Medina.
Oh, so they just got a big one.
So they just got a big one.
Okay.
And he was, yeah. He says, I didn't want to have to go home and explain to her why I spent $3,300. That would have been like $3,500 after fees on a unit.
Whoops.
And,
babe.
It was funny because I must have talked to him at some point after that. After we realized it was such a good unit, No, I saw Lisa yesterday. He says, now you got to go home and explain to her why he didn't buy it.
Yeah, exactly. He has to tell her.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in trouble for not buying it. That's what he's in trouble for not buying it.
What do you give her now? 2,000, now 21, now 22, now 2,300, now 2,400, now 25, 2,500, now 26, now 2,700, now 28, 29, 2,900, now 30, 3,000. I got 3,000, now 3,100. Yeah, 3,100. Yeah. You guys, if you want to be like, what the hell? This is the kind of unit you have to buy. And that's how it was. And bam, $3,250 later. Woo, woo.
So Alpha didn't put one bid on it. Nope. Conky got bids in.
Yep.
Who else was bidding?
Dave was bidding.
Once I got done, once I was done, I was egging Dave on because I knew if he bought it, I'd at least get to see some of it.
Frank.
And that's so funny that you just said that. I know if Dave bought it, I know I'd get to see it. Do you recall just 2 years ago, Dave slamming doors down on my camera?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Huge transition in Ohio, the storage option, which is amazing.
We just did the story Restores Love with Dave.
I love it.
But yeah, I guess I was, by the time Rob called, we went to another location and I didn't get anything there. Nothing really spoke to me. But after that, we went to lunch with the Hudsons. Noreen and I went to lunch with the Hudsons. And Rob calls me as we're sitting there eating, and he starts to tell me about the unit. And I'm all anybody heard on my end of the conversation was, "Oh, you've got to be kidding me! Oh, you've got to be kidding me! Oh no!"
Wow.
I have that. Let me full screen you, Rob. Hang on.
I got that episode. I got that comic out of a storage unit.
Tell me this today. Check out this. Airy #1 10-cent comic book.
That was in there?
That was in there.
Wow.
That's gotta be worth some money right there. Probably $500, I'm thinking, or more. This unit was unbelievable. My mind's still blown about it, and I got to go over there next week to help them sort the comics.
So Alpha's kicking himself now. Conky's kicking himself now. Kicking themselves now.
I haven't called Frank yet. I was going to call him. And then the one guy, Mike, he was there, and he's like, man, I was thinking about bidding on that unit. I was like, man, you should have bid on that unit. But he just bought a unit with just boxes of shoes in it, right?
Thank you, Rosie.
I don't know. Did you see that one online, Conky? It just had like a bunch of shoe boxes in the corner.
I might have. I don't really get into shoes, so I figured Guapo would go for it.
He buys the unit, right? He was looking really close, and he saw that all the boxes are taped, and like on the one it said like, you know, brown and white, and like red and tan. So he's like, well, that's probably the color of the shoes. He said all the boxes are loaded. First pair of shoes he looks up, $400. Then he opens a shoe box, 2 autographed jerseys in it. You want to guess what 2 players?
LeBron and Kobe.
You got one right.
LeBron for sure.
Kobe.
That's got to be worth more.
And the greatest of all time,
Michael Jordan.
I was like, only in Ohio, man. People don't believe it, but I'm telling you, it's crazy. There are some units out here. Hales can contest it. Conky can contest. Oh, sorry. But you guys can contest it. There's some crazy units out here.
Wow.
And somebody, you know, in all these stupid comments, and, you know, these people are like, oh, I don't know about this unit. I'm like, guys, you know, Jeremy, we all contest. We don't make this stuff up, guys. This is the actual factual. What happens? We don't have time to be making up stories.
Okay, now I want you both to pick a number in your head. Don't shout it out. Don't shout it out yet. But if I would have been in Ohio, you both know I would have been bidding on it. So how much would this unit have sold for if I had been in Ohio at the paint? And you know I would not have missed the Painesville run. So pick a number. Don't say it yet. Zero.
I already have my number.
Yeah, I know what it was sold for because I was the auctioneer, so I could already tell you.
All right. What do you guys think it would have sold for if I was in Ohio?
I think you probably would have bought it between $3,300 to $3,400. I don't think it would have went that high, Conky, because I I think everyone was on that fence right there. As soon as we got over the 3,000, it was tough to get him to go over that 3,000 mark, Jeremy.
Yeah,
Conky would tell me, I was using my silver tongue to try to get that money out of their pockets.
but here's the thing that I thought would drive it that high. Jeremy's bidding on it.
Yeah, but Jeremy, he might have did one of those, the old winks to Rob, pull the air kind of, behind the back wave. And, Jeremy and I know how to, I could take his little secret bids,
There's nothing secret about when I bid. I'm literally looking at the camera. I can't look at anything else. I'm looking through a camera, and I'm just like, yep, get on with the auction. Get on with the. Let's go. Get on with the auction.
Yeah, they might have bid more, but man, like I said, I was trying to get every dollar out of those guys.
I wish you'd have just stopped when I was the high bidder, and we'd have been done with it.
I should have stopped when you were the high bidder. I should have.
Wow.
You don't need your auctioneer's license, do you? I mean, that would have been good enough.
Well, who needs an auctioneer license anymore? You just go online. You don't even need a license.
I guess.
Wow.
But yeah,
I miss Paynesville run.
I just couldn't believe it, man. Because and people were like, "Well, that doesn't make sense. Why does this guy leave the stuff in the unit? Why didn't he just pay it?" I don't know. I wish I understood why these people do this. Maybe he's incarcerated. Maybe he passed away. Maybe he had something better to do with his life. Maybe he won the lottery. I don't know. I would like to find out. I'm going to have to ask the manager.
Well, we just bought a unit. What's today? Today's Thursday. We bought a unit Tuesday in Orlando. And so far, you've been able to see part 1, part 2. Part 3 is going to start blowing your mind. And Saturday, oh my goodness, Saturday, you have not seen anything yet with my neighbors. This is the tip of the iceberg. Saturday, do not miss Saturday. Do not miss Saturday. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you a teaser. I'm going to give them a teaser for Saturday right now because I just uploaded the video, and I'm gonna show it to them in Video Shop. I'm going to try and show them the teaser.
Literally with the gun.
And let me see if I can. All right, so this is your teaser for Saturday's video. You have not seen anything yet.
So they're shooting at the lights. Yeah, literally with the gun. Gun shooting. Yes, these guys.
You'll hear stories about people being up there and getting shot at. And shoot, they've stolen power from here one time too.
We're gonna look at that property line right up on my neighbors, right? Right. And you guys got some crazy things to share with us about that, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's gonna get. It's been messed up, but it's gonna get messed up.
All right, so that's your teaser. Saturday's video, insane. But Friday's video is awesome. And we had other YouTubers there stuck behind. They wanted to see what it was all like. And they were literally sitting and watching, and they were like, why? I mean, as we were pulling this out, they were like, why? Why did they not pay? Why did they not pay when I have a handful of gold and a handful of silver? And they're like, why did they not pay? And we're sitting there going, who the heck knows?
The question I've always had is, you bought that locker with the same day I bought Vince's unit. There was $1,000 in hundreds in the safe, and they lost it to delinquent. Why wouldn't you, if you knew you were getting behind? Why would you just go open up your locker, grab $100 bill, pay your rent, and go home?
Now, let's take all the good stuff out of your unit
or something.
Now, what we did find out about him is he owned a charter bus business. And he hired vets, and vets actually drive the charter buses, and they take you all over the United States. So I will, in his defense on why not go to your unit, I will say that if he was somewhere else on the charter bus with his business in the United States, there is no really going to your unit. But Pete said he called the day before, and he promised he was coming in with a payment, and he never showed up. Never. He promised Pete he was coming in with a payment. So I don't think he was anywhere else in the United States. I think he was home, and he never showed up. It blows your mind.
Well, the unit Dave bought, Conky, I mean, the same thing. The guy, Tell him that story, Conky.
Well, they bought that unit with the big pressure. Well, it's like a steam cleaner pressure washer.
Yeah.
And all those pallets of.
Brand new, it's worth $7,500, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
He bought the unit for $50, but go ahead, Conky. Sorry.
And we were going through the unit. I'm not afraid to admit we were going through the unit. Dave was giving us, here, take this, take that, take this, and because he's just trying to get rid of it all.
You have a whole case, Rob.
Yeah, here's a whole case of battery chargers. Rob and I were lugging these big boxes out of that unit. And, Dave must have been up in the office or something. He comes out and me and Rob are standing by the cars. He goes, "We got to put it all back. They're giving them till like 1 o'clock to pay."
The guy was out of the country for 9 months, supposedly, and couldn't pay on his unit in those 9 months. But all of a sudden, he pops up the day his unit sells.
Right.
It's amazing how that happens, isn't it?
So we had to lug all those boxes back into the unit and put them back in there. And it turned out he didn't come in and pay, did he?
Nope, he never paid. And then Dave ended up getting the unit for $50.
I got the feeling Dave didn't really want it. I got the feeling he'd have been just fine with the guy paying.
But after he found out how much that thing was worth, he was happy. He was looking up that model, and he found out the new one sell for like $7,500 to $8,000.
Well, he's got to get $2,000 out of that easy.
Wow.
Somehow, yeah.
It's a giant.
He did get it, right?
What's that, sir?
He did get it, right?
Yeah, he ended up getting it. He drove out there with his truck, loaded it all up. He said it was one of the easiest loads because all the stuff was on pallets except for that thing. So he brought his pallet jack, rolled it up the elevator, put it on his truck, and then that last thing said almost killed him, though. He had used like a winch, and the two of them tried. It was like 900, so almost 1,000 pounds, this machine. But somehow they got in the back of his truck. He has no ramp on his truck and no lift gate.
Yeah, see, I could have loaded that easily because of my lift gate, but
wow.
Yeah, I just put out that video today, Conky, of us going to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, well, I mean, we found out that the unit we bought belonged to John Bettis, Jerome Bettis' brother.
Very cool.
$5 per unit. Conky, he got Ross Lusberger autograph, Bettis autograph. He got a pop-up tent worth over $100, one of those 10x10 pop-up tents.
Yeah, like you use at the flea market.
I got a roll-out bed. It has a frame. You pull it out. It inflates itself over $100 it's worth. I got a flat-screen TV. He got a computer. I mean, all this Steelers gear. How many Steelers T-shirts did you get?
Oh, I don't even know. 10 maybe.
Wow.
T-shirts.
That's pretty good for $5, fellas.
Yeah. It's funny because I tell people we split the unit, but it wasn't split. We didn't split it because neither one of us had $5. We had $5. It was, how are we going to stuff all this in our cars and drive home? I stuffed my car full. He stuffed his car full. We threw the rest in the dumpster.
Oh, this is the best thing, Jeremy. Listen, the manager goes, listen, because they just bought this facility in Pittsburgh. So he goes, we have 2 units here. You guys can look through. It's the construction leftovers, right? So the first one was just like some office furniture junk.
Yeah.
We go through, and I'm like, Conky's like, what's this thing? I'm like, I don't know. It's a touch screen kiosk machine that the old facility had for you could pay.
So it had a credit card reader in it.
They just pitched it. So I grabbed it. I threw it in the back of my car. I looked up one up on eBay, $1,500.
Oh, easy.
We sold those ties at our Saturday night auction. We got $75 out of the ties, okay?
Yeah, but man, those things are worth way more.
There were some ties in there with $180 price tags on them. The first one I looked at that still had the tag on it was $89.95. And I'm going through them, and there's all these great brand names, and I'm thinking, man, somebody's going to get it. Ian's number one mom bought them.
Goodbye.
He got it for $75. There's ties in there. I know she could sell for $50 a piece. I mean,
check out the auctions, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know how some of the other people in the chat let her get away with that, but she did. So,
wow.
I mean, a big bag of ties. How many ties were in that bag, Rob?
At least like 30, 40 ties.
At least.
Wow.
And a lot of them were brand new, still had the price tags.
Yeah. That blew my mind. I'm going through those. $180 for a tie.
You know that Nike golf bag I took?
Yeah.
They had a price tag on it, $180 or $200 in Conky.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't even notice it until I got home. I was unloading it. I was like, "What? This unit for $5? It was loaded." That guy was Jerome Redis's, like he said, brother, and he had some like Bettis fundraising stuff in there, like all these bracelets and I don't know. The bus, baby.
Yep.
Only in Pittsburgh. We go to Pittsburgh and get Pittsburgh autographs and all this. What's the chances?
Yeah, good figure.
I told Anthony I'd call him next time we do the Pittsburgh run.
Well, I'm sure he'll love that.
I wish he was there because it'd have been a lot more fun going through. He'd have known right away. He'd have known John Bettis' name right away. I had to get the box home and look at the side of it before I realized what was splitting the $5 storage unit.
Your thumbnail.
That's my thumbnail today.
That's a good one.
Did you really tear a $5 bill?
$5 bill and match it up perfectly. My son's like, "Dad, that was pretty smart." I'm like, "Thanks." You think I'm going to rip $5 in half? I'm the guy picking up pennies at the storage unit auctions.
That's what Noreen was doing yesterday at that auction. How many pennies did you find?
To be honest with you, I usually look, but I've been too busy filming. I haven't picked up pennies at storage unit because that's how much my life has changed. I'm too focused on filming it and then trying to get another shot of it. And I got not only film, but at the same time, I got to focus on if I want to buy the unit or not. Because you get lost in the filming because sometimes you're like filming. It's like, wait a second, why am I not bidding on this unit? So you gotta really be, focused and try. And then people want to talk to me, and then people are like, "Hey, I saw you on What the Hales channel. Hi, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm Rob, auctioneer extraordinary." Yeah. And I said, "This Conky Slipping Adventures over there." People are coming up and talking to me. And it's like, so you got all this distractions going on. You're trying to videotape, you're trying to buy and make money, and you're trying to talk to people, and people want to come talk to you, and then they want to talk to you about the auction that I just had on Saturday. What about the comic book unit? So it was just crazy. So I didn't find any money.
Well, but that brings me to the auction where that unit sold for $32.50, and then yesterday's auction, the same thing happened to me. I'm filming. I've got my phone either like this or like this, depending on whether I got the 360 on there, and I think I'm filming. But apparently the calluses on my hands aren't touching the screen like they're supposed to.
We've been
the best part of that auction Saturday, I looked down to see what the numbers are counting up to, and I'm on my home screen. It wasn't filming the whole time.
I've been there
yesterday. I'm trying to film. I looked out while the sun was out yesterday, and I'm looking at my phone, and it's not even filming. I thought, well, I'm not even going to say how.
I know it's frustrating, especially like the best part you end up missing,
Right. It was the best. I filmed everything else at your auction. The best thing was gone. So I don't know.
That hurts. Been there, and so mad at myself.
Yeah, because you can't go back.
Yeah, but twice. I mean, even yesterday's auction, I knew to look for that, and it still happened. So
here's what I do. This is my tip for you guys. This is what I do now, because I've made that mistake so many times. So I'll silence my notifications. Now, if you listen, when I turn the video on, okay, so when I video on the camera, listen. Okay, now right now you heard nothing, right?
Yeah.
That's because I have all notifications off. Now, what I've learned is to keep one notification on. Now, instead of just relying on my sight, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so I know.
Oh, it's a different sound.
Yes. So I have it. The sounds are all set up. So not only do I don't rely on my sight anymore because I've done that same thing so many times. Now I rely on my sight and my hearing.
So you're saying I shouldn't have fired Silent Shane for not videotaping that? This is joking. You're fired, Shane. You missed that whole part.
You out.
Sorry, boss.
Out.
Sorry, boss.
So I got to figure out how to make my notifications sound like a different one for starting and stopping.
Well, even if you just have one, it could be the same notification, but you hear it when you press it. So you hear it, it goes off. You're filming. It's what I do every time now. I follow the sound.
or you get into this loop where you're not filming what you think you're filming, and you're filming what you think you're not filming. So I've got to have two different sounds. So even as simple as "you are now filming" or you have stopped filming" or something like that.
Yeah. But I rely on the sound now because I've made that same mistake so many times and it hurts so bad. And you're like, I lost the best part of the entire day and it's not here. And you're just like, no, it hurts. It hurts bad.
People don't understand unless, when you start doing this and like you're looking forward to that, you're like, oh man, that's so awesome. And then you're like, what? And there's nothing you can do.
Well, but imagine my disappointment. I lose the unit because I don't get it for what I'm bidding on it, and then I lose the stinking video.
And you don't have the footage.
It's like I'm going to cut you to wound you, and then we'll just throw salt in there.
Oh man, that's painful.
That hurt. That does. That hurts.
So, Rob, did you go to that auction today in Worcester? And
well, you want the good or bad news?
Go ahead.
No, the good news is they are both canceled. They're the one this morning and the Worcester are both canceled. People must have got their money and boom, paid up.
They got the stimmies.
That was the bad news. The good news is I inked 2 offsite house auctions today. I went putt-putting, I went miniature golfing, go-karting, and all this other fun today with the kids. And then I got pulled over by the State Highway Patrol for loud exhaust. And then they asked if they could search my vehicle. Of course. Why not? No. They put me in the back of their cop car, searched my car. I'm like, I don't care.
Did you record all of this?
What's that?
You better have recorded all of this.
No, because they made me they took my phone.
That's a viral video.
I know.
They can't take your phone.
The guy's like, leave everything in the car. I'm like, I'm trying to grab my phone, and he took it. And I'm like,
he can't.
Well, I'm not going to get him. Listen, at this point in time, it's that, you know what I'm saying. And long story short, the guy goes, well, I'm going to give you a warning for your exhaust. Have a good day. Because I said, well, the thing is, I fixed the exhaust. I was driving on the highway. Something hit it again, busted it. I just told him someone was trying to cut off my converter. And he's like, oh, okay. So then they just let me go. But I was just like, I'm sitting there like, oh my gosh. I was just trying to get home, have dinner, and make it to Auctions Anonymous. And I was trying to finish my video, all this stuff. And then I'm like thinking like Jeremy, I'm like, I just wish I was able to hit record. At least the phone would have been in my car and heard what they were saying while they're searching my car and everything. Like, oh, well, this was a waste of time. This guy's got nothing. He's got a bunch of crap in here. Because they come back out and they're like, well, what's in the briefcase? And I said, well, I can open it for you. Because if you have it upside down, if it's the wrong way, it won't open. You have to turn it the other way to open it. And I was like, I'll open it for you. They're like, no, that's all right. Have a good day. So at least they let me go. When they pulled me over for some bull, anyways, they sit like right on the highway getting on in Cleveland. They figure they probably get a lot of people that have, warrants and, I don't know. But they let me go. Obviously, I wasn't what they were looking for. This is not.
You're like, don't you know me? I'm Rob, the auctioneer extraordinaire.
That's what I was supposed to say, yeah. Those guys are like, wait a second. Are you from Second Sense? Get out of here, man. That was supposed to be my story. Damn it, Jimmy. Yeah. I forgot. That's what I was supposed to tell you guys. And like everyone's like, wow, Second Sense, he's famous. They let him go.
No, the standard answer, if any cop asks to search my car, my standard answer is no, thank you. You're not searching my car. That's all there is to it.
Well, I have nothing to hide, and I wasn't going to mess with them because typically my answer is this, Conky. If you had the right to search my car, you wouldn't ask me the question.
Exactly.
But since I have nothing to hide, and I'm like, well, I'm just going to let them search my car because I'm just going to, what do I got to hide, right? So I just let them search my car. They look, okay.
Well, 2 things. Did you buy that car brand new?
No.
Okay. I bought a car one time. Drove it around for a week, opened the ashtray, and there's a 1/4 inch of cocaine in the ashtray. All right. You don't know what's in that car for one.
That's true, but I got it from some old lady, and she was the only person that ever drove it, so I'm hoping.
So there was 1/2 inch of cocaine is what you're saying,
no,
Rob.
There was just that straw left. She did all that cocaine.
No, the difference between a lawyer being able to get you off for whatever they find in your car and not being able to get you off is you're giving them permission to search your car. I've seen too many videos where they plant stuff in your car.
That's why I should have had the camera rolling.
Always.
Well, what happened to this one guy? The one cop was in the middle of planting drugs on the seat of this pickup truck that this woman was driving, and the other cop with his body cam happened to walk up and turn around as the guy was planting the drugs.
Well, that's
he wound up losing his job and everything else, which he should. He should go to jail with the people that he busted. That's all kinds of ugly when a cop gets caught doing that. But no, I don't trust. I don't trust any of them.
Always be like, oh, the cops pull me over. I'll be like, say. I was like, listen, let me explain one thing to you about the cops. Okay, if they want, like you said, they can easily plant drugs in your car. They can say this guy was selling heroin or whatever, cocaine, whatever they want to do. What are you going to do? Tell the judge it's not mine?
Well,
okay.
No,
you're done.
It becomes a question of if you say no, you can't search my car, and they search it anyway. Sure, they'll arrest you, but then any lawyer that graduated law school will say, "Well, it's an illegal search. You can't, you got to throw this out," and the judge has to throw it out. You have to think those 3 or 4 moves. Hey, you got to think all the way through to your appeal. The minute somebody pulls you over, I
wasn't doing anything illegal, so I wasn't worried. That was my thought of the matter. But
most people that are sitting in jail haven't done anything illegal. Where, how should I put this? Usually, it's somebody who thinks that they're not doing anything illegal that lets their guard down and gets you busted. Did you know that there's a law in the books that says that you're not allowed to do anything that's illegal in any other country? It's a federal law. If it's illegal in some other country, then it's illegal here. You could be busted for doing something that's illegal in Saudi Arabia. It doesn't happen, but it could.
Like I said, yeah. The thing is, in the moment when it happens, you got the split second of everything happens. Basically, I pull onto the on-ramp to get onto the highway. The highway patrol sitting here and here. And I'm like trying to go as light in my gas as possible. As soon as I go by, this guy pulls whoop and flies right up behind my butt. And I'm just like, I'm looking in my mirror like, really? And I'm like, okay, I'm just waiting for him to turn his lights on. And then as soon as he hits his lights, I pull over the side of the thing. He comes in my car. I hand him he's like, man, you're quick. I'm like, I know you're going to ask me for my license, insurance, and registration. That's what every cop asks for, right? Mm-hmm. And he's like, what are you doing? I said, I'm going home from work. I work my butt off all day. Well, you know why I'm pulling you over? I said, because my exhaust is loud. Why is there? And I gave him the whole story. You mind if we search your car? And I know right there, I thought in my head, I know I can say no, but I'm just going to try not to piss the cop off. They're highway patrol, because if I piss them off, maybe they'll try, if I just work with them, hopefully they'll be quick and easy, and they were quick and easy. And it was a 5-minute, 10-minute pullover. So, but it's always fun sitting in the back of a police car, guys.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is, they won't pull over these damn bikes that, rumble down your street at 3:30 in the morning and you can wake the dead, because they say loud pipes save lives, which I'm sure they do.
Four-wheeler.
Yeah. But they'll bother in your car. Nice. Then Jeremy gets pulled over for doing what?
There's a ketchup short.
I got lucky that cop let me go in Florida. I forget how fast was I going? I forget.
Probably too fast.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I tried to stay behind you on the West Virginia Turnpike one day, and when we got to where we were going, remember, we could smell your tires.
Yes, we could.
Yes, and Kyle Guapo is late as usual. I don't know. It's yeah, we've been on a while. You call him Guapo?
I've called him twice today. He won't pick up, and I called him yesterday too.
Where have all the Guapos gone? Da-na, da-na, da-na. I hear something. I thought he was picking up. I was really excited.
He used to pick up the phone for me, but
I saw.
I don't like.
The love No more melons, man.
Melons.
I'm either reselling the content of a storage unit or going to buy a storage unit. And guys, I had a pizza joke, but it's just a little bit too cheesy. Thanks. Leave a message. I'll talk to you later.
Guapo.
At the tone, please record.
You guys ready?
When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Melons.
Guapo melons.
Carla Ratliff says that he said he wouldn't be here tonight.
Oh. Someone said call Chapo. We don't got Chapo's number, just Guapo.
I got Chapo's number. I think.
I know George does.
George does, I know. Let me see if I do. Yeah, actually I do.
I don't think I have Chapo's number, just Guapo's.
Does everybody want it? I'll just put it
Sure,
up.
just
Conky, full screen me, man. Full screen me.
there we go. Here we go. Oh well.
Hey, listen, someone just sent this message, guys. This is a good one. I think you'll like this. I'll just read it to you. It says, got to see you auction the units. You really are good. Auctioneers are not all good. Was fun to watch you and enjoy the camaraderie between you and the other YouTubers, especially Conky. Also glad to see you took some quality family time. You are a busy guy.
Cool.
That was on one of your videos.
Yeah. They even said, me and Conky, they like the camaraderie. So.
Yeah. I tell people I have a lot of fun with you guys.
Oh man, that's why we're here. I mean, people think like, oh, you know, that we're all friends, and we have similar likes, and when we get together, we get a little crazy, but we have fun.
It's those similar likes that get us in trouble, though. Because if there's a storage unit and we all like it,
You got to bid.
yeah.
You got to bid.
And I told you about my video on the algorithm, Jeremy.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So it's
where's that one now? Is it you top over 50,000 views yet?
Conky. I talked to you the other day. It was what, 50-some thousand?
I thought you said it was like in the 40s the other day, yesterday. Hey, I'll full screen you for that. Hang on.
Hold on. Let me see if we can pull it up. Come on, people. Don't even want to show it.
He doesn't want to do it.
It's funny because like I can see it on my phone, but it looks like totally blank.
Yeah, it just looks blank on the screen.
Hold on, I got an idea here. Let me see if I can do a.
My fans want more Otter Creek, and they are gonna get it on Saturday.
Oh, there we go.
61,000. Wow.
Where am I looking?
In 10 days.
61.3 thousand. You're looking at
Okay.
green arrow going up.
The average watch time keeps dropping, but that's all right.
That's what happens. The more people that YouTube puts it out to, your average view duration will keep going down. So think of it as a few people. Your average view duration typically are going to go up. Those are your super fans. And then as it hits the algorithm, YouTube's going to push it to more and more people. But the bigger it goes out, your click-through rate will go down because it's just attrition. It's more people. And your average view duration typically will go down because it's hitting more people. And they're trying to get to the meat of your video instead of watching the entire thing. Your super fans are always going to watch your entire video.
People that don't watch the entire video, like the one person's like, oh, there's no dust in that unit. In the unit, I'm dusting the boxes off. I'm like, obviously you didn't watch the whole video, you know? And then all these people were like, well, the guy, I don't understand why he didn't sell. You know, the thing was, he wasn't selling the stuff on eBay. I tried explaining it. He was buying the stuff on eBay. But, some reason that one got picked up, Jeremy, and I've been booming ever since that video.
That's incredible, man. You just keep riding that wave. Ride that wave.
Does it say where these?
That's why I put the new video with.
What's the question, Conky?
Does it say where the new views are coming from?
Well, from what I understand, Jeremy could explain it better to me, but basically your video, what they'll do is after they show it to your core people, if you get good analytic numbers out of them, they'll slowly put it out to more and more. And then when you get to the right level, they call it the shoulder level. Then after that, then they start going really expanding it out to more and more people. And that's like why, like I'm getting more. I got more views in the last 2 days than I did the first, like 4 days ago. I was getting like, I don't know, like every day it's gaining more and more views. So they're putting out to more and more people. So usually your videos start going down. This one keeps going up and up and up. I don't know.
So yeah, that's exactly how YouTube works. If you get a high click-through rate and you get a high average view duration, then it triggers the algorithm. And basically, when your core people, they click on it, they watch it, that tells the mathematical equation or the artificial intelligence, the YouTube AI, people really enjoy this. And YouTube goes, well, if these people enjoy it, more people will enjoy it. So they'll push it to more people. And those people click and watch, and then they'll push it to more people and push it to more people. Now, every video has a natural life. So at some point, it's just gonna stall and it's gonna stop. Yeah. So for example, soccer. If you were to watch a soccer video, there are people who watch soccer videos, right? But you're doing a storage unit video. So why would YouTube ever try and push a storage unit video to somebody who only likes to watch soccer? They never will. They never, ever will. It's going to push it to people who naturally watch storage unit videos. So that's how it works. But you can get in there and you can learn what videos are being suggested on. So let's say it's teamed up. There's a What the Hales video, which is always good for you guys. If you mirror my titles, what will happen is YouTube will put the similar title under my videos, and it'll be a suggested video. So it'll tell you in your analytics, these videos are suggesting this video and you're getting views from it. So you could go there and the top one could be Conky's Flippin' Adventure, the Vince unit. And the second one could be What the Hales, the Safe unit. And so it will literally tell you what videos are suggesting it the most. But it's triggered the algorithm, and that's exactly what you want.
Yeah. I had the other one that was triggering, they pulled. We're going to have a release about that, guys. We'll talk about that later. But this one got to the same level twice as fast as that video.
It's a good feeling, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it helps because, right now, everyone that's watching this and the video, someone asked what the video name was, is Elderly Man Abandoned Storage Unit, and it has a bunch of eBay items in there. But everyone's seeing the videos, new people now. So there's a good chance that they gain a lot more subscribers, and it has been happening in the last 28 days. I gained a buttload because I was going to talk last week about hitting 15, and now I'm at 16.5.
And here's the crazy thing with YouTube. YouTube actually rewards you based on how many subscribers you get. Okay. So YouTube is going to say, here's a silver play button at 100,000 subscribers. And they're going to go, here's a platinum play button at 1 million subscribers, or gold play button. But subscribers aren't what makes YouTube. So like there's videos out there, and you guys can watch them, the vidIQ or whatever, and they're going to straight up tell you your subscriber number means nothing. It literally means nothing. Because let's say I do a Restorage the Love video, right? And we've got 380 some thousand subscribers right now, and they see Restorage the Love, and I move those individuals emotionally to click subscribe. But my next video is I'm fighting with the neighbors, and they're like, well, I don't want to watch that. And so they don't watch it. And as a matter of fact, they never watch any What the Hales again. Because the subscribers actually meant something, we'd get 383,000 views on every single video right now. But we don't. So views are what makes YouTube. So I don't know why they don't do the rewards for views, because that's what matters. Our subscribers, we love our subscribers. We love them. We absolutely love them. But it's 10% that are your super fans that watch everything that comes out, which is why you always have to push into other categories to get another fan base based on YouTube's AI, which is why you see different titles from us, whether it be a safe, we're trying to get the safe people, whether it be firearms. We're trying to get firearm people. We're always trying to cross into other realms to get more people. And because we've hit the storage unit people, we know we've hit the storage unit people. We've got that grouping in YouTube. And YouTube is only going to push those videos so far, which means we have to get into other groups. So like today, abandoned luggage. If you were with me and George in the storage unit, I said, we're going to hold everything in the luggage and do a second video just based on abandoned luggage. And the reason is YouTube. We are trying to get in the abandoned luggage group. So we title it abandoned luggage. Titles, grouping, all of that. We're always trying to get into another group. So I'm still perplexed. I don't know why YouTube doesn't go, okay, subscribers really don't mean anything. You got somebody to click, but they don't watch anymore. What is important is if you can keep them watching. It's views. Will they watch? It's views. Are they watching? It's views. And we love our subscribers. We absolutely love our subscribers. But a subscriber that comes in and subscribes because they saw one video and then they never come back again, why would you reward me for that? It's views. It's views. You always want to figure out how to increase your views. YouTube has it backwards, but you know, who am I?
You're at what, 100 million views now?
We're over that. We hit our 100 million. We are, I can tell you exactly. We're probably, my guess is 104 million based on what typically happens since we hit 100 million. And the video that got us to 100 million and put us over was the re-release of Banned from Life Storage. And it was just epic that way. It just really was that it all worked out that way. No, we are at 103,295,826 views.
And I got 1.5 million. So look at that.
And okay, so what's a view? On the video, it's on their screen for a second, and they click off. Is that still a view, or do you have to?
I don't know if YouTube counts a second of viewing as a view. That I don't have their analytics.
I think as soon as you click, they probably count it as a view. I'm assuming, but I could be wrong.
I honestly don't know. I don't know how they. Well, maybe I can find it. It might explain it somewhere. I'll look.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know.
So I'm thinking that it don't. I mean, it's just if you watch it for a second or they watch it for, you know, an hour, doesn't. I mean,
no, and I would say as well, if they're on there for 1 second, I wouldn't want them to count that as a realistic view. I wish they, you know, if they went, all right, this is what we really qualify as a view, because you want a view to be a view,
right?
Just like you want a subscriber to be a super fan and watch everything.
Well, like example, how does Facebook do it? It doesn't. 1 second doesn't count as a view, right?
No,
at least what? How long?
So it's everything over a minute.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Facebook.
Don't shoot that most as I think I saw 30 seconds.
Yeah, 30. Man, I always get them to watch 29 seconds. No wonder I get no views.
Like, oh, they click out after 29 seconds.
One more second, man.
Rob, after 29 seconds, you get really, really boring.
I do. It's usually like, hello, everybody. Welcome to the show.
A Guapo, $5.
Can I say what the melons?
What the melons?
What the melons?
Yes, Rosie, thank you for the super chat. We appreciate all that.
But just as Jeremy was talking, I'm not going to mention who or what, but there's a YouTuber, and I think they had 70-some thousand subscribers. And you know, their latest video or whatever is a couple weeks ago or something, I think had, and the second day was at like 4,000 or 5,000 views. You know, and they have 70-some thousand subscribers. So once again, subs mean nothing. Views mean everything. You don't get paid on subs. You only get paid on views and watch time. So I try to explain that. That's what I've been trying to work on, because, you know, one, you got to get them to click on it first. So thumbnail and all that's important. And then views.
Well, one of the reasons I did all this and all that, and you know, eventually going to start making the restoration videos, is you see YouTube channels that only have, a couple dozen videos out over the course of 2 or 3 years, and you look and the videos are doing 1 million, 1.5 million, 7 million views,
And I guarantee they have long watch time because people want to see that restoration process.
Right, the whole thing all the way through. And I even started doing things like that nasty interior car I bought. I went through and cleaned the whole interior, and I split that up over 3 different channels. It's going to be 3 different videos to just kind of see what works, and I don't know, for lack of a better term, just diversify the work over 3 different channels.
That's awesome.
So we'll see what happens. I mean, I haven't had a chance to wrap it up yet, and I've had to take down my editing computer because I don't know if I showed the chat yet. This is where I usually do my lives. I'm usually sitting over there, and that's now the powder coating oven and the paint booth. And the next to it is going to be the sandblasting cabinet when I get it put together. So I've got to move those operations somewhere else where I have room. I'm just kind of sitting down here now because I didn't take my comfy chair out here yet, and that's what I'm sitting in.
You got to have the comfy chair.
Oh yeah, yeah. And this chair, were you there when we got this chair, Jeremy?
Probably. It was in a unit, wasn't it?
It was in Worcester.
And then they were like, the manager was like, you can have anything you want. And you're like, I want that chair.
Yeah, that was it. You were there. So I think we went to dinner afterwards. But yeah, this is a nice chair. I can sit in this all day.
Conky goes into the restaurant. He's like, no, I brought my own chair.
Yeah.
BYC, bring your own chair. Wow.
Yep.
Hilarious. Yeah, that was that spruce tree.
Well, I booked a flight to Florida. So my goal is to stay a little bit longer afterwards. I'll talk to you about that.
Oh, you're coming to Florida, huh?
My wife found these crazy round trip tickets.
$100, right?
Yeah, the 4 round trip. The whole family under $600.
Oh yeah,
all the fees. I'm like, God bless America.
Yep, it's amazing.
Yeah,
I still don't know if I'm going to fly down the first time I go or just drive.
I'm flying, and then I'll probably like maybe a few days there until Jeremy gets sick of me and says, "Get the heck out of here." So
we just set up. Now you got to remember the house is pretty crude, but we just set up 2 beds in the kitchen. So like when Guapo and Chapo were here, they were sleeping on the couch. So we just bought this storage unit that they've seen 2 videos from it so far, and tomorrow will be the last video from the unit. Maybe there's other stuff that we didn't show just based on time, but we literally just set up the beds in the kitchen, and we were like, all right, if we really do have guests, brand new memory foam mattresses, Ashley furniture beds, dresser set, and we were like, all right, we're setting them up. And so set them up in the kitchen just in case, because last time Guapo and Chapo just crashed on the couch.
Really? We thought they stayed in a hotel, and that was a joke.
No, they were literally sleeping on the couch.
I thought he stayed in a hotel too.
Wow.
When they were here, they were literally sleeping on the couch.
Couch surfing, huh?
And then they would take a shower in our camper, and if they got a shower that day, because I was charging $100 a shower. I figured I got them right where I want them, premium price, right?
I'll just go swim in the water. I find the closest gator pond and jump in.
Yeah.
One thing that keeps gators away is Zest. Zestfully clean. Open it up. They don't like that soap, man. You just put some pert in your hair or something,
Are you sure about that, Rob?
Suave. I used to live in Florida, and we used to go camping up by the what the heck is that name of that huge lake up there? Okeechobee or whatever?
Okeechobee.
So Lake Okeechobee, it's a huge national forest up there, and we go camping. Literally, there was no one for miles and miles and miles. And in the morning we wake up and you go through the little marsh into the water, you know, and I refresh every morning. Everyone's like, "You're crazy, man. Aren't you worried about the alligators?" I wasn't
Gators
worried.
are just gonna run from you.
Yeah, I'm not worried about them. I mean, if it's my time to go, it's my time to go. If not, I have to try to fight them out.
Well, I suppose in the middle of that would be the worst thing. It's not your time to go, but it's your legs' time to go.
That's true.
You know.
Now, if it happens, at least I'll have it on video, hopefully.
Yeah, there you go. One viral video, and a month later, you're sitting there looking at the stump and saying, "Why did I give up my leg for a good video?" You know.
Well, it's got 1 million views, but hey, I lost my leg.
How many views do you need to get on a video of you losing your leg?
The question is, how many views do you need to buy a new leg? Is the question.
A million ain't gonna do it for you.
Not enough views to buy a new leg.
A million ain't gonna do it for you.
Oh man, maybe I just get like a stick or something, you know, like a plunger upside down.
There you go. The leg will be walking itself.
Yeah. Oh man.
A little suction cup action.
You could walk up a wall with that. I mean, there's a good video right there, just walking up a wall with your plunger legs.
Okay. Oh man.
Why didn't I think of that?
That'd be funny.
You could do it. I might have to make a short like that.
Yeah, I still don't know whether or not it's worth losing your legs over though.
No, it's definitely not worth losing any body part over a video.
Keep your body parts.
I mean, you didn't see the video where I lost my finger, but
No.
You guys want to see the snake I caught today?
Sure.
Yes. What kind of snake was it?
Well, I had to call Robbie. Robbie let me know what it was. I knew it wasn't venomous, but Robbie had to tell me what it was. It's a hybrid cross gray yellow rat snake. So let me see, which video is it? Is it this?
That is a gray.
Oh wow.
Wow.
We're gonna let it out right here.
And run.
Right out here in the woods. Boom.
There we go.
Enjoy life. Here. You all right? Here, I was gonna show you something. Look at this. Look at this. Go right in there. Go right in there. There you go. There you go.
That's sweet.
Nice.
That one was okay to touch. Non-venomous, non-aggressive. What we did, we caught it in the garage and then I put it in the cooler because it was just easier to put it in the cooler to take it out to the creek and then took it out to the creek. But it's too close to the garage. Robbie goes, "Well, you know, your chickens are still small. You know, they'll go for the little babies." I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "I'll just take them out to the creek then." Or her. But my guess is all the way stretched out. That was probably anywhere between 5 to 6 foot.
So that's a big looking snake right there.
Yeah. I didn't stretch it from top to bottom. I didn't do anything like that, but I got video playing with it for future video. But
You know what's funny is you've come a long way because remember that unit that we bought? Well, actually, you bought it in Worcester there with the KISS and the car parts.
yeah,
Okay. Remember when I met you out there to get the car parts like a day or two later? You were releasing a possum or something. Or a raccoon. I think it was a possum
probably.
that you caught at your property.
Yeah, probably possum, raccoon, skunk. I would take them all out. Groundhog, take them all out to the warehouse.
Yeah, but you were releasing that at that auction, you know, wherever that auction was.
Oh, I released it at the actual storage unit facility. Yeah. So I've gone from rodents to snakes. Rodents to reptiles.
There you go.
Yeah, going from rodents to reptiles. That's what's happened.
They used to play with their food. The reptile food, I'm saying. Oh man.
Yeah, I'm not a snake person.
I used to have a ball python that thing lived forever. I got it when I was 16. I think it died. I don't live like 15, 20 years almost.
Wow, I had a ball python as well.
Yeah, snakes, if they're fed, I mean, they're very docile. The only time they're ever aggressive is if they feel threatened or they're hungry.
Am I the only one here that hasn't had a python?
Yeah, it sounds like it.
When I
Now,
lived
that
in
is super weird.
I lived in Florida, I used to let it stay on my balcony. I lived on the 4th floor. Okay, I'm in Florida. I let it hang on the balcony, and then I come home, my snake's missing. So I put up all these things around, all throughout my apartment building. Missing snake. Man, my phone started ringing. Oh man, everyone was, what are you talking about? Snakes missing? What kind of snake? And then all of a sudden I get the call from management. We got a notification from some residents that you have a snake. I'm like, listen, the snake didn't get released in the building. It fell out of my building. It was on the porch. It jumped. And I put a reward. Long story short, some kid calls me up. Yeah, I was calling. You said there's a reward for the snake? I'm like, yeah. How much? I'm like, $50. Okay. Next day I get a call. Yeah, I found your snake. The same kid called me back. He thought about it overnight. Like, I'd rather get that $50 and have the stupid snake. Then I got my snake back, and then I couldn't let him hang on the balcony no more. Well, I did let him. I lie. I let him do it again, and then he jumped, and I went down there and I found him, and I'm like, that's the snake. No, I try to give you the freedom to hang out on this beautiful balcony in Florida. He just kept trying to escape, but I didn't think he would jump, 40, 50 feet, but he did.
He didn't hurt himself, huh?
They're meant to fall from tree. They can fall out of a tree, I guess, no problem. They got nothing really to break. There's mostly vertebrae.
That's wild. It's just like, I have no regrets.
Goodbye, cruel world.
What? I'm still alive.
Damn it.
I want to do it again.
Like
I want to be a bird. I want to fly.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I remember one time. Well, we were on vacation actually, and we used to go to Mexico as a kid. We used to go to Mexico for like a month, and we broke down in someplace south of Tennessee because they towed us back to where did Elvis Presley live? Memphis. Okay.
Yeah.
They towed us back to Memphis, and this was when Elvis Presley was still alive. Okay, this was when I was a kid. So the camper had to spend a few days at the dealership, and we were walking everywhere we went. Well, we walked to a hotel, and we were checking in, and I guess my sister went all the way back to the bathroom to check out the bathroom. None of us had made it back that far into the room yet. But just as we were sort of shuffling into the room, the manager went whizzing past us saying there should be a turtle in the tub.
What?
And there was, actually. My one sister had already started screaming. Manager goes in there, grabs the turtle, picks it up, and he's carrying it out. I mean, he's like this with it. This was a big turtle. He's walking out of the room with this turtle. And I don't know. It was just weird having somebody walk past you saying there should be a turtle in your bathtub.
What was the specialty that night? Turtle soup?
I don't know. It wasn't one of those hotels that had a restaurant, so maybe he was just keeping his turtle there. I don't know.
He's like, darn it, I got to move rooms. I told you not to rent the room with the turtle.
That's my turtle room.
Must have been the last room. I don't know.
That's crazy. And nobody said anything about it other than
nope. Just
yeah, that's normal.
He left with a turtle, and that was it.
That's 100% normal turtle room.
The only other weird hotel story I have, and we didn't stay in hotels often, is when we went to Mexico, it was all with a camper. And we went to Florida, we had a house down there, and we maybe had to stay in a hotel on the way down and the way back.
Yeah.
We stayed in this hotel in Georgia this one time. It was called the King Frog. And I'll never forget that whoever owned the hotel had two young sons. And these two little boys, and they weren't much younger than me. I mean, I was probably, I don't know, 10, 12 at the time. These two kids were younger, walking around in three-piece suits and ties.
What?
It was just weird. That's almost child abuse, isn't it? Making your kid wear a suit.
It depends. Oh, that's hilarious.
I don't know.
Don't get me started on hotel stories, Conky. You know, I managed hotels for over 7 years.
I want to hear your best hotel story.
Did I tell this one yet? Didn't I ever tell you about the Black Hawk Down story? Do you guys ever?
I don't think you've said anything on AA.
Have you ever seen Black Hawk Down, the movie?
Yep.
Okay. That's the premise for this story. Let me explain this to you. I worked at a hotel, and this is the best story I got. I got lots of great ones, though. I should write a book. I worked in a hotel in Columbus, Ohio. We had a Somalian wedding. Somalians, they don't send out invitations. It's word of mouth. Okay? Before the wedding starts and all the ceremony, all the fun stuff, the big chief, whoever, I don't know, father, whatever, the guy has all the money. Big dog.
The guy who's paying for it.
Yeah. He comes up to us and said, listen, don't let anyone in if they're wearing jeans or sneakers. They got to be dressed up. They're coming to our wedding. No problem. It's easy enough. Just tell people can't get in. Well, the room sits about 450 people. An hour into the beginning, we already told tons of people they couldn't come because they were not dressed appropriately. We're already at max capacity in the room. We go to the guy, hey, we're actually over max capacity. He's like, well, no one else can come in. Okay. So we start, let's tell no one else can come in. People start trying to sneak into the hotel all different ways. We had to put the whole hotel on lockdown. The first time ever, because I was like, why do we have locks on the door? We're open 24 hours a day. Now I found out why. We locked down all the doors of the hotel except for the main entrance. I'm there with the general manager, and we're trying to get everything going through. And we had 2 Columbus cops end up showing up. So we're out there trying to manage the situation. There's about 650 Somalians in our parking lot.
Yeah.
Aren't allowed in the wedding, and they keep coming. Okay? All of a sudden, they decide, let's just all charge. We can't stop them. They can't stop all of us or whatever. So here's me, the young assistant general manager. I'm going to prove myself. I'm out there with the 2 cops. The general manager's behind me. I'm like, lock the doors. Why didn't I go inside with him and lock the door?
Yeah.
No idea why. I'm standing out there with 2 Columbus cops. All these Somalians are coming at us. And we're like this, and there you go. 2 minutes later, woo, 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 woo. 20 cop cars, Columbus, Dublin, every city around. Whatever they said on that radio, it was like all hands like that. There were so many cops. It was like everywhere, man. And we're just standing there like I'm literally thought I was going to get crushed to death because I'm just getting pushed against the door like this. And I'm just like, I got these 2 cops next to me. And then as soon as all started coming, everyone started, running. It was just went madhouse. And then basically the cops told them, hey, you guys can hang out in the parking lot. Don't cause any problems. And that's where we ended it with it. And we just had to guard the front door the rest of the night. But only times I ever I was afraid for my life for a few minutes there. I was just like, I'm going to get crushed to death. And why didn't I go inside with the general manager? So that's a hotel story. And that's just one of the many of the good stories I have.
You'll probably never do that again.
No. Like I said, I mean, I just remember the movie and these guys at the helicopter and they're just getting surrounded, it just happened to be their Somalian wedding and they were in Somalia where that happened. And like I said, they're great people, very friendly, but they don't send out invitations, just word of mouth. And I didn't know there was such a huge Somalian population in Columbus area, but.
That reminds me of that scene in Cheech and Chong where there's a wedding in Mexico. So they call the what is it? The immigration. And they come with a bus and they take them all to Mexico. They deport them. Well, they have to get to the wedding somehow.
That's funny. Oh, man. Yeah, so that was a fun hotel story, Conky.
Yeah, I traveled for, I think I traveled from 97 to 99 for a living. And I practically lived in those things.
Yeah, it's no fun.
And one of the worst parts about it was, in the summer they'd send me to Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, the Carolinas. The winter I'd go to Michigan, Minnesota. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just torture you.
It's like, God, couldn't you just switch this around?
Yeah, can we flip this around?
It was around the time the Indians were really good. You couldn't get tickets around here, and I was never, ever, ever in a town where the Indians were playing. Ever. You'd think once I would be in like Chicago or something, or someplace where they were playing, and I could have caught a game. No, never.
Never worked out.
They sent me one time, and this has nothing to do with AA, but it's a funny story, so I'm going to tell it, I guess. And
Then it has everything to do with AA if it's a funny story.
The company I worked for, they sent us out on like regular maintenance things and all that, and companies that used our service got a special price. It was a negotiated price and this, that, and the other thing. Well, if an emergency, I worked on rubber testing instrumentation. So if one of these machines that I worked on went down, you'd have 20 guys standing there. The company could lose tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars a day for one of these little machines going down. So they would pay us emergency service rates of $90 an hour from the time I left my house to the time I got back. I don't care if I had to go to Arizona. $90 an hour for every minute I was gone. Okay. It was called Portal to Portal. Well, I was in West Virginia, and I was supposed to come home the next day. And they said, there's a place in Philadelphia. Pay for your hotel in West Virginia because you're already there past 6. Go to Philadelphia, get a hotel there. Get up the next morning, go do what go fix a machine, and then come home. And I knew that these people were going to be paying, it was $1.50 a minute, $90 an hour, from the time I left West Virginia to the time I got home. So I go and I check in a hotel. I get up the next morning. I go into the company. And I was a salesman for years before this. And I got used to going into companies and asking to see somebody. And there's a salesman, they don't care whether they say you're not, the receptionist like to mess with you and tell you, oh, do you have an appointment? Go sit over there. He'll see if he gets a minute. So I got a chance to get back at this receptionist. I walk in there the next morning and she goes, may I help you? I said, yeah, I'm here to see, Joe Smith or whatever his name is. You'll have to wait. I looked at her and says, lady, for $1.50 a minute, I'll sit there as long as you want me to. Oh, whoa, I didn't know you were here for that. Right this way. They shuffled me right in so I could.
That's funny.
I could sit here for days.
I'll sit here as long as you want me to for $1.50 a minute. I don't care. Oh my gosh, she woke up after that. That was after years of being abused by receptionists for wanting to see somebody to sell my products. But yeah, somehow that came out of a hotel story, so I don't know why.
So you remember those days of travel, Conky?
Yeah. Oh my! What was funny is this is where I got my. I hate flying. If I want to go somewhere, I'll drive. You know where Keokuk, Iowa is? If you look at Iowa, Iowa's really, really flat across the bottom, and then it dips down just before it becomes Illinois. Down in that little dip is Keokuk, Iowa. Okay. I one time, and I used to have to go there like twice a year. I forget how often I went there, but one time I flew there, and I got there a half hour later than if I would have just driven. And that's why I like to just drive, because it is really quicker to drive. By the time you get on a plane, say I wanted to go down and see Jeremy. I get on a plane and I fly to Chicago. And I sit in Chicago for 3 hours. And I go to get on the plane to fly to, I don't know, South Carolina. Well, the flight was canceled.
It's a direct flight here. It's 2.5 hours.
You don't have to stay the night.
2.5-hour flight, Conky. Direct flight, man.
Direct flight. You ain't driving it. You ain't driving it faster.
You know how many times I've gotten on a direct flight and had to sit for 3 hours on the stupid runway?
You want to hear a story, Conky?
Yeah, sure.
Just because you're talking about planes. I used to travel for business. and I was in Chicago O'Hare, supposed to fly back to Cleveland. We go out on the runway, and we're out there, and then next thing you know, 3 hours go by. 3 hours. They get on the thing. Well, we just want to let everyone know that the issue was finally fixed by the ground control here on the aircraft, but the issue runs into that the flight crew has extended their maximum time limit for the amount they're allowed to be out here. So we're going to have to taxi back to the I'm like, what? Okay, so now we taxi back. Okay, it's almost 1 a.m. Okay, they're like, well, we're going to put you up in a hotel. And your flight leaves at 6:30 in the morning. So by the time I get to the hotel, okay, it's almost 2 a.m. They're like, "Oh, here's some vouchers for the hotel gift shop or whatever." I go to the room, I take a shower, I go to bed, I wake up an hour later, take a shower, get in the shuttle back to get to my plane in time, you know. But it was just like, oh,
I had those
at that point, yeah.
Yeah, it was just because I was like all excited, like, oh yeah, we're gonna take off. And they're like, no, the flight crew now has exceeded their maximum hours. I'm just like, really? Oh, stuck in Chicago.
You ever wonder if what they tell you? You know how many times I've been in Chicago and just driven the rental car home?
I could see why.
I've done it. I've done it.
They happened to me one time. We teamed up with some guys, and we got stuck at the airport, and they canceled our flight. And then the next day we came back, and then they delayed the flight. And these two other guys were like, we just want to get home. And they're like, we're renting a car if you want to ride with us. And they dropped me off in Cleveland. And we got there, and our flight landed 30 minutes before we got there.
Yeah, but you would have got off the plane in time.
Yeah. So it was just funny, though, because we were like, well, it was worth just driving. Because you're like, you don't know what's going to happen, you know. Last thing you want to be stuck in an airport for another day.
I remember one time – I was in Dallas, and I missed my shuttle to the airport, and I wound up getting into this car with these 3 other guys. I didn't know whether they were serial killers. None of them spoke any English. And I remember riding to the airport with them. I'm sitting in the back seat looking out the window thinking, boy, I hope they don't pull over and kill me. You know, we showed up at the airport, you know, the DFW, and I flew home, you know. I hate flying. And a second ago when I said I don't hate Chicago. I hate flying through Chicago to Chicago from Chicago. I don't hate Chicago.
No, Chicago's awesome sitting there.
Yeah.
But yeah, flying there, and there are 2 airports, and they both are horrible.
Yeah.
From Cleveland, little airport, guys. So it's, you know, you go to Chicago or you go to LAX or you go to, you know, Miami, Orlando, and Houston, and you know, those are some huge airports. You're like,
yeah, I think DFW is officially bigger than the city I live in.
Well, when you have to get off your plane, take a bus, and then take a subway or whatever to get to your next flight, you know, like sometimes to get to the next terminal, it takes you a half hour. You're like, oh my gosh. You know, Cleveland, I could run through the whole terminal in an hour, half hour, you know. One end to the other end, no problem.
Yeah, it's not that big a deal. In Akron, Canton, I could crawl across Akron, Canton in the time it takes you to, you know.
Oh, it's so nice flying out of Akron, Canton because it is so small.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, people are saying you're ready to fall asleep, Jeremy.
Oh, not yet.
He's got editing to do just like the rest of us.
I have to stay up all night and work.
Yep, sounds like fun.
This work doesn't get done by itself.
I know. I try to get these little, you know, I got these little elves at the warehouse, but they never want to do any work. Because my guys will, you know, leave at 6 o'clock, Jeremy, and then they'll come in the morning, and there were like 3 tables of stuff set up for them to catalog the next day. And I'm like, man, isn't it amazing? The auction elves come in here and set up this stuff in the middle of the night. It's not Rob staying to 9 o'clock at night setting it up. But.
That's funny.
Yeah, Jeremy, one of these days you're gonna decide to hire yourself an editor, and you're gonna get something called sleep.
It'd be nice.
And you're not gonna know what to do with yourself.
Yeah, that would be nice.
One of these days.
Yeah.
I know why Guapo's not here tonight.
Where's he at?
Well, he knows it's his turn to pray.
Oh yeah, he's trying to.
That's it. He hasn't been the one to pray in a couple weeks, so he's just trying to get out of it. I think.
I think he's gonna have to pray the next 2-3 months since he missed today.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try calling him again. My phone.
try him again.
But
Like the Catholic priest. Guapo, your penance is you have to pray every AA meeting for the next 2 months, and all your sins will be forgiven.
did he say why he wasn't going to be on?
No, he called me earlier. I talked to him for like a minute. He was trying to find the warehouse that I get all my shipping supplies from because they moved locations, and I was in the middle of the country. Place, and he's like, "I'll call you back," and I never heard from him since.
Yeah, I've been calling him the past 2 days, and he hasn't answered. I don't rank anymore for him.
Yeah, he was trying to find the warehouse today. That's why he was calling me, and because he didn't realize they moved locations from 117th.
And you reached Guapo's.
Yeah, he ain't answering.
I had this pizza joke, but it's a little cheesy. What the melons?
Dad jokes.
Man, I love them. Dad jokes, can't get enough of them.
Someone said Guapo prayed last week. That was a rerun, guys, that you saw.
Yeah,
that was a rerun. That was the best of.
That was the best of AA.
Yeah, we just what we do is I edit in his praying at the end of every video because he is so much better than ours.
Conky will spend the next 2 hours editing this to get Guapo's prayer in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure that one out. You what? We'll go to sign off, and just as we go to sign off, he'll come in. Hey guys,
that'd be perfect. Perfect time to pray.
Conky, full screen me, man. Full screen me.
Full screen. Yeah, he stopped by my shop. I sold him 2 shirts. I thought he was going to talk about that.
You sold him 2 shirts today?
No, the other day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 2 wrestling shirts for $225 or something.
Nice.
Yeah, so I was like, wow.
What are the chances he's lurking in the audience?
I'm sure he's out there. He's probably ghosting us right now.
Probably. I gotta ask my.
You think he would at least text back?
Yeah. Because I got all these awesome T-shirts. I was going to sell them.
Janie wants to know if we got a hold of Chapo. I've got Chapo's number, but I've never messaged her before. So I've never. Usually I just message Andrew, or Andrew messages me. I've got Chapo's. I don't even know why it's in my phone. They probably gave it to me at one point.
Did you sell the 2 toy stoves? I'm not sure. I know there's toy washing machines I had, and I just picked up a huge. Oh my god! I gotta show you this video, Conky. It's like 30 seconds long. I know we're all tired. We want to get off here, but this is an exclusive. No one's ever seen this little. I went and did this pickup the other day, and I was like, I should have filmed more of it. We had a very short period of time, and I think you're gonna like this one, Conky. Let's see here. There it is. Hold on. It's like 30 seconds long.
Oh wow.
That's at the house.
This is at this one house I picked up. Everything on the shelf is going to be in the auction.
Okay, those little those little tiny. Go back to that video again. All right, on the second shelf down.
We're coming.
Those little tiny cars. Those are those right there. The green one's the most rare one. You see how it's on there on the back of that truck?
The car carrier?
Yeah, that's a Barclay. And that car carrier, that trailer is actually made out of window cranks from old windows. That's what the company used to make those trailers.
Really?
They had the single and the double decker, and they were all like window cranks.
So is it worth any money?
Yes.
Would they melt them down, or would they just mold them?
No, they were just that's the way they were shaped as window. They were like window, not cranks, but the locks. Like you'd flip it up,
Yeah.
you'd open the window, and then you close it, and you'd flip those. They were a lever.
Wow.
I got to there's a guy that wrote a book. I've got my Hot Wheels book. There was a guy that wrote a book about the Barclay toys, and he's a lawyer in Chicago. And I forget how I started talking to him, but he sent me a book and he signed it and everything. But yeah, he told me that that's what those were. Those were like the people who made the Barclay trucks went out and found these things and thought, oh, that'd make a nice little trailer for, they bought them like salvage or something.
Huh.
But yeah, that, like for example, that truck with the two cars on the trailer, that alone you could probably get. Well, I'm thinking about if I want to tell you what they're worth, or if I should just tell you they're worthless and I can maybe pick them up cheap. No, seriously, that alone is probably worth minimum $50. And those little cars, the green ones, are the hardest ones. I remember years ago learning that the green ones were the hardest ones to get in good condition. It's like the rarest color. And I actually have some of those trucks that I need those cars for. So whenever those go up for
they'll be going toy auction. The lady passed away, and the guy is 86 years old. And the family came in from out of town, and they're trying to downsize them. And the wife collected cast iron toy stoves.
Okay.
And probably 30 of them from size this big to this big.
Like salesman samples? There were
salesman samples or toys, but they're all cast iron. Some are salesman samples, guaranteed, just because they're so ornate. And then the gentleman, he had those toys, but his main love was cast iron cannons.
Wow.
There's cannons like this big to like 2 foot. So I picked all those up the other day. Yeah, there's some big ones. And then there's a couple that aren't cast iron. There's one that was really cool. It's like made of wood, and then had like 4 like targets that were like soldiers. Like the thing is probably turn of the century when the cannon was made, and the soldiers look like 1800s, like French soldiers or something. And you would use like put up maybe a ping pong or something in there, and you would shoot the cannon at these targets. So there's some cool toys. I mean, just I love the old stuff. So
I'm gonna have to check those out.
Yeah, it's going to be a heck of an auction. And those little tiny washers the person was asking about, they would be in the toy auction. All the trains I got from the one unit, those would be in the auction. So we're going to have a huge toy collectible auction.
Yeah, I'm going to have to spend some money on that. Now, I had a couple questions here. Jane Lord asked me if I got the email about the red line she found. I'm going to have to go and look at the emails, Jane. I took down the computer that my emails are on. You have to check the reads. And then Debbie says, Conky, crazy question. Please tell me what a red line car is and how to spot one.
Full screen yourself, Conky. Full screen yourself.
Well, I should show you. Well, here. I'll show you my little book. And this book is really, really old. And it's upside down. If you look at some of these cars in the picture, you'll see a little red stripe around the wheel. And that's a red line. The problem is, red lines were made from 1967 to 1977, but recently, and I'd say within the last 10 or so years, well, no, I can't say that. Starting in 1997, I think, or 1993, they started reproducing them. And the reproductions are worth nowhere near. Thank you, Rosie, for the super chat. The reproductions are worth nowhere near what the original ones are worth. And some of them, unless you know the difference, you got to be careful. And I have some videos on my channel. There's a video, and it's kind of a teaser video, and the thumbnail is a pinkish. It's like a pink. It's called a Sweet 16, but it's a pink, like an old style roadster, and it shows it spinning on the turntable. And I say how much it's worth, and then the video switches to a reproduction of that same car, and there are very, very subtle differences. And then I go into saying that it's worth barely $10. And a lot of people don't catch the switch on the turntable because I blend it in. But I would suggest going back and looking at some of my toy videos. I think some of them are called Sunday Night Toys. And there's some secrets in there, revealed about how to, tell a real one from a fake. And I'm going to, when I get all this set up again, I'm going to start doing those videos again for the toys. But yeah, it's tricky. You got to know what you're doing when you're buying red lines. It's not for somebody who, you got to do your research. I'll put it that way. Right, Rob?
Anything you buy, research, guys. That's all of us here. A lot of people are like, oh, but the reason why we get a lot of the buys that we get is because we have the knowledge already. Jeremy knows things that are worth money in a storage unit. He's been buying storage units for a long time, and he doesn't just buy a storage unit because, I'm just going to buy this storage unit. No, he buys a unit because he sees something in there that's worth value or has might lead to value. And we use our education that we have in this business. So yeah, knowledge is power.
And a lot of it is just from years of being around it. The only way I can explain my knowledge of red lines is I was into the hobby before it became. I was into the hobby really before they became that valuable. If that makes any sense.
You were into the hobby before it was a hobby.
Yeah, I guess that's the best way to put it. But
yeah, you're like 4 years old, you got your first red lines or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. But it's, I guess you got to really have lived with the originals to know what a fake looks like when you hold it in your hand. I did find the cast iron wagon for you, Conky. Huh. That's right. You were talking about a cast iron wagon. Send me a picture of that, Liz. Yeah, Rosie, you'll catch up. She says she's late to the game, but it's not impossible to catch up. But one funny story about like knowing value and telling the value of things, and this is a red line story. There's a red line called a rear loader beach bomb, and it's in my book. And basically, what Mattel did back in the late '60s is they were making Hot Wheels cars of real cars that you'd see on the road, and they tried to do a Volkswagen bus, like the hippie bus, and it turned out to be too skinny. What they did was they made this thing true to scale. They stuffed a couple of surfboards in the back window, and they never released them, but they did a run of them. So there's a bunch of them made. And it was too skinny to go through the supercharger, which was these little wheels that spun. And as the car went through it, the wheels would hit the car and shoot it out the other end. And they realized it was too skinny to go through there. So they redesigned it and they made it wider. It looks like an abomination, but it was wide enough to go through the supercharger, and it was called a side loader beach bomb. So they ordered all the rear loader beach bombs destroyed. They said, crush them. We don't want these going anywhere. Well, they were just toys back then, but they were a failure. Well, some of the employees decided they didn't want to crush them. They took them home. And they surfaced years later. And the guy that was writing the price guides and publishing how much these red line Hot Wheels were worth, he was saying they were worth roughly $300. And what happened was they were at a show, and this guy had some at the toy show, and he was buying them for $300 because that's what he was saying they were worth. Well, somebody walked up to him and says, "I want to buy one of your rear loader beach bombs. They're so rare." He says, "You set the value at $300. This, I'll tell you what, I'll give you full value. I'll give you $300." The guy wouldn't sell it. He says, "Now wait a minute. You said they were worth $300. You're telling the world they're worth $300. Yet you won't sell one for $300." He says, "I'll tell you what. I'll give you a premium. I'll give you $400. Still wouldn't sell it. I'll give you $500. Still wasn't for sale." That's when the book value in here is $3,500. for a rear loader beach bomb. This book is copyrights. I think this was early 2000s. Lights, dude. I can't tell when this was made, but I think this is early 2000s. The last rear loader beach bomb that I heard sold for over $100,000.
You have what, 2 of those, Conky?
Yeah, I wish. But yeah, it was a pink one. And
Hers?
But that's just when you start talking about what's this worth and what's that worth, you got to watch who you're listening to, and if it's somebody who's motivated to buy it cheap, they're going to do what I joked about with Rob a minute ago. Goes, yeah, they're worthless. They're not. Those are $2, $3.
Well, the other thing about Hot Wheels, I know it's late and we all want to end the night, but I just want to piggyback one thing you said, Conky, is Hot Wheel red lines. It's real easy for someone they could say, look, here's the car. That same car sold for this amount of money. But the car you have might be a different color, or the interior might be a different color.
Yep.
And just because the same color car,
right,
but a different color interior, can make a car worth $20 to $2,000 or $200 or whatever. So
yep,
that's what Conky's telling you. You got to know your stuff, because it's real easy to say, oh, here's that car. But you got to look at the little details. And there's a lot of little details in those Hot Wheels. And they made a lot of different colors. And some people are like, oh, this color is pink. It's not pink. It might be a different color. It looks pink to you, but it's not
right.
pink.
And if you're looking at it on a monitor, you're not looking at it in person. I have probably, I don't know, a good dozen cars where the common color was yellow, but mine's green. Well, you can pick up a yellow one for $100. You're not buying mine for $2,500. You know what I mean? It's that rare. So, and I'm not saying that to brag. It's just the worst part is, and this is another thing, people will take those yellow ones and they'll repaint them green. You know how to look at a repaint and tell whether or not it's original or a repaint? I do, but I've been in this for years. It's just things you got to know, I guess.
I usually look for the crayon, outside of the lines to see if they repainted it or not. Just the crayon markings, is it in the lines, out of the lines?
Yeah, some of the restorations are better than that, though. I knew a guy that could restore a Hot Wheels car. Normally, you drill out the rivets, you repaint it, and then you put fake rivets in, or you put screws in, or whatever. I knew a guy that could actually grind down the original rivets and then re-rivet them after he took the car apart and put it back together. You could never tell the difference. Never. He was that good. And I'm looking to, when I get my my restoration videos going, I'm going to try to hire him to do videos for my channel so I can double up on the restorations, because I still have his phone number. Sean, if you're watching, I'm going to call you. But anyway, what do you say we've been off for an hour and 40 minutes? You couldn't do that again if you tried.
I really couldn't. Never.
Oh man.
Yours about to end right now.
So with Guapo not here, who's going to do the prayer?
All right, no problem, man. Guapo's coming through me, so.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, that's the Lord. Sorry.
Okay, it's better actually.
The Lord's coming through me. All right. All right, Lord. Once again, thank you for bringing me and my brothers together on AA, just to have some time to have fun, talk, and see what's going on in each other's life. We appreciate everything you've done for us and me personally, letting no issues today with the police officers. And once again, anyone out there that has any special attentions, Lord, please listen to them and help them. And maybe what they're asking for might not be a thing for them, but maybe you show them the right way and help them through their hard, difficult times, whatever they might be going through. We appreciate everything you've done for us and everything you've bestowed upon us. We love you, Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. And A women.
And AA.
And AA.
AA.
And A confused about what you are. If that makes any sense.
You just blew my mind.